Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy, so keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And our like sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
Nosfero, does this word not sound like the death bird culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead.
Hard work, dedication, hard work, dedication.
What is up, folks? Good morning. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Shanthan Jetty Art and this amazing Iron Age Comics Forge we're in. I love seeing you guys in the chat here this early, trying to get back in the groove of streaming. And let me see who we've got here in the chat. We've got, first and foremost, we have a member in the house, and I tip my cap to my members here. Stephen Rockwood Drawing is here. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate everything you do here at the channel. Son of Liberty Radio, great to see you, my friend. You know, as always, I love that name. Hail, Son of Liberty. And I got to say this. I saw this and it put a big smile on my face. Remember Stephen Rockwood drawing. I'm really pleased that Nosfero is at 516 backers. The road to 500 was long, but I knew Shant would get there. Well, thank you, my friend. I will tell you this entire journey, it starts and it continues with faith in that and faith that things are going to go well, and that everything is going to come out right. It is a leap of faith. And I thank you guys for being here. I know I couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. Past Master Dan, it's great to see you here in the chat. American Comics Company. You're always in good company when American Comics Company's in the house. We've got Mighty Geek Studios, the mightiest of geek studios, as far as I'm concerned. Great to see you. Timmy Mello. It always puts a smile on my face when I see you, man. It's great to see you in the chat, my friend. Always bringing the positive, always bringing the thoughtfulness. Thank you for being here, my friend. Charlie Stevenson, speaking of, and it's great to see you. I say salute to you, my friend. Wonderful. Let's see here. Who else have we got here in the chat? We've got McShort. McShort, it's great to see you, McShort. I feel like long time no see, and great to see you, my friend. Unless it hasn't been a long time, and it's just my I'm having a senior moment. Ellie, great to see you here in the chat. Amanda B, great to see you here in the chat. And let's see, Cowabunga, hi, how are you doing? Great to see you in the chat. Jonas is here in the chat. Good to see you, Jonas. I have a character with that name, funny enough. Moromi, it is great to see you here in the chat as well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Love that. That's great. I love that image. That's terrific. It's a merge with yourself, I'm guessing, and Last Crusade, Indiana Jones, and Venice. Am I right? Citizen Ronan is here. TC is here. Man to be. Yes, indeed, guys. It's great to see you guys. It's always a good morning and a good Friday here in Comicsgate, and it's great to see you here in the lodge doing some painting and just really getting back on the horse. I'm trying to update, all this various stuff with the site and doing, the book layout stuff with the, in InDesign, just making sure I'm keeping on top of everything there. And this is a page that's it's really, it's got some great moments from the story and some great emotional little moments here, even though it's a bit brutal and it's tough to make a thumbnail out of it. Neon Todd Studio, great to see you. Oh gosh, I don't know if I can even begin to answer that. The only way I could say it is I prefer the shadow. I'm excited to have finally bought Blood Honey to add to my growing CG collection. Eventually, I'll probably end up owning at least one of every CG or comics pieces. That is, I'm telling you what, it is. That book and the stuff that Ethan is doing in his work is next level stuff, and it's an amazing thing. We were talking at the start here, right off the jump, about the leap of faith we all take when we go to create these comics, and we are doing our best work. We're working our tails off, and we're doing more work than we can ever show. But I will say this, you guys see a lot of it. You see us as we're, making that climb and putting in all these hours streaming and trying to make the best shows we can and trying to make the best art we can. You guys know more than anybody what's involved in this process. And you also, again, have our back on all of this stuff. And I always go back, and I know I've done it on streams before, and I won't be doing it today, but I always go back and look at those early streams with Ethan. And the idea that what Comicsgate is, as it is right now, to all of that, to people who are coming in new, which is great. Welcome if you're new here. Welcome. But when you go back and look at how this thing started, you really get a sense. Nobody knew how this was going to go. People took a lot of leaps of faith into this world we're now able to hang out in and enjoy. Thank God. And it's just been a real lifeline for a lot of us, myself included, and really grateful. Mighty Geek Studio says, in the world of comics, independent creators are Ronin, Masterless Samurai. Amen. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and speaking of that, I have to say, a movie, I know you guys know this movie, but a movie I never get tired of watching ever is Seven Samurai. That movie has some of the best just writing, character development, pacing, but it also leaves you feeling really just kind of inspired. And I know that the ending is it's not an awful ending. It's not like, oh, everything is just perfect. But I mean, seeing a bunch of guys and the camaraderie that they feel working together to try to do something noble. And they're as the movie goes on, they're deepening and their appreciation for what they're doing. They change as characters. And I think that sometimes all of us find ourselves in these serendipitous, circumstances that change us for the better or help us to rise to be all that we could possibly be. And it's not like sometimes it's scary to kind of step into the unknown. But what I can honestly tell you is that I've met some of the best people since I've been in this space, and I've met people who, are ride or die supporters, and also just have a love of art and all of these things that we like. And that's what it is. Yeah, Kurosawa, absolutely. Kurosawa, man. What an artist, and what a genius, and what a legacy he left. And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. My hope is I was talking to a friend of mine who I've known since college, the groomsman. And the groomsman and I did a phone call not long ago, and he said, man, ever since I've been watching you stream, I got back out my Ethan Van Sciver, Green Lantern stuff, and I'm just like, this stuff is amazing. This guy's amazing, and we all know that. Like we've all known that. But what my sincere hope is that the stuff that, and I believe this, the stuff that Ethan is going to do with Cyberfrog is going to eclipse all of that. I think that it's going to be the mark that he leaves with that character once he gets to the end of this, and as this thing grows with action figures and everything else, I think is going to eclipse all of that, so that the affiliation or the association, primary association of Green Lantern with him is going to be eclipsed by the association, much like with Spawn and Todd McFarlane. It's going to be the same thing. Let's see here. Ellie says, first time I saw Seven Samurai, I was like 12, and it came on late on PBS or something. I was engrossed till 3 a.m., changed the way I thought of cinema. Amen. Absolutely right. Yeah, that movie was the inspiration for the Magnificent Seven, and what another great cast of characters and actors. Just terrific stuff. Just terrific stuff. I really need to sit down and watch Seven Samurai since I love Magnificent Seven so much. Absolutely. The best memories. It was a lucky scene. Other scenes and Ford's roles looked off. I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, it was a lucky scene. It was. This is the thing that's interesting to me about it, too, is that I had trouble getting into Seven Samurai. I'm not I always think it's important to say that. I'm not afraid, embarrassed to say that. And what actually helped me was getting the Criterion Collection set, and getting it was the DVD. Now I own the Blu-ray of Seven Samurai, and watching it with the Michael Jeck commentary. There's a Stephen Prince commentary as well now, but I watched it with the Michael Jeck commentary. And when you watch a Japanese film or a Kurosawa film with a Michael Jeck commentary, it's like watching a movie with a friend who's showing you something they're passionate about for the first time. And he's very conversational, and there's something special about those commentaries. And so I would encourage anybody who hasn't seen it and hasn't seen Seven Samurai, if you can get a hold of it, or get the Criterion channel, so you can get a membership to that. It's a streaming service, and it has the audio commentaries for all their movies, including the black and white original Godzilla. There's some great commentaries, and all the bonus features are on the Criterion channel streaming service. So there's some really great stuff out there. But yeah, that really affected me. I'm so glad he recorded that commentary, because he really helped me to kind of just get past some of the things that made it hard for me to get into the film. And so, I'm not now I watch it without that commentary, or sometimes I watch it just to hang out with an old friend, to be honest with you. But there's something really special about, that commentary to me. I don't know quite what to make of it, but it is what it is. Let's see here. I remember reading the X-Men with EVS. The storyline sucked, but his artwork kept me coming back every issue. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wow. I saw 2001 at the age of 12. Blew my mind. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's great stuff. Yeah, 2001, man, is one of those films, again, that I saw that later on. I was probably in my 20s. No, actually, no, I was in my late teens when I saw it in college, and I saw it Letterboxd, and I couldn't believe the first part of that movie, or the opening of that movie with the dawn of man and all that stuff, the costume work, the lighting, and all of that stuff was just so completely unbelievable. The shot of, I think it was a leopard, with a kill up on a little rocky cliff or whatever. I think it was with a zebra. I mean, that shot is beautiful. I think I've referenced it actually before in my work because of that glowing eyes, the way the cataracts caught the light. You're painting using a Frazetta book as a drop cloth. No, this book is my inspiration right now, man. So yeah, I think I talked about last week, but let me talk about it some more. Aaron Lopresti got this book and did a review of it. And I am always looking to, I've got a Frazetta book propped up here too. I'm always looking to Frazetta for just inspiration. And, I know his paintings well, but every now and again I'll go, I want to Google his stuff so I can see a lot of it. And Aaron alerted me to this book that's just come out recently of all of Frazetta's paperback covers with the type on them, like as they were. And it just, man, it really inspires me to see how his work looked with type on it and just the way he thought about the space. Oh, I love that book, man. It's a great book. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I won't let anything happen to it. Hey, what's up, James Hayes? How are you doing? Hello, Jonathan. All of you folks frequenting the chat. I hope that you are having a great Friday. James Hayes, we hope you're having a great Friday. You're always so positive. Thank you for being here, and we appreciate you so much, the positivity. You know what I just saw recently, but absolutely, oh my gosh, lived up to the hype, was Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence of Arabia is it's not my favorite movie of all time. My favorite movie of all time is E.T. for about a billion reasons. The score, like that's the one that's just, right on. But if someone asked me what the best movie is, what I think the best movie of all time is, and the one I've watched a million times and that has been an inspiration for me almost every step of my career, it would be Lawrence of Arabia. I did a portrait of T.E. Lawrence that in acrylic that was based on photographs and a painting of him when he entered Damascus. But that movie, I actually wrote a fan letter to the restoration folks who worked on it. I think it was Colorworks, but I'm not sure who did it. But I wrote to them and I said, guys, thank you for your restoration work. They responded. They were very kind. But one of the most beautiful films is that wonderfully restored Lawrence of Arabia. They worked miracles to salvage that film from all the cracking from the heat in the desert and bringing it back to life. I just love it. Hey, what's up, Badger Boy? How you doing? What dreams may come? Have you seen this? Yes, I saw it in the theater with my wife. Painting is a central plot device of the film. One of my favorites. Yeah, beautiful film. I saw that with my wife in the theater. Great performances. Wonderful film. Let's see. I've never been able to watch E.T. all the way through. Yeah. I mean, what's so funny is that it's a movie that my wife finds it terrifying. She saw it when she was a kid and she's like, oh my God, the screaming creature just creeped me out. And, there's many a thing to it, but it's a movie that hit me at absolutely the right time. And I had this joke for a while that I still sort of say that if E.T. creeps you out, you probably had a pretty decent childhood, happy childhood. If you love E.T. a lot, things might have been a little bit tougher. But it spoke to me in a way as a kid that this idea of that there's more out there, and that whatever you've got going on and whatever you feel like you're dealing with as a kid, that there's an adventure right around the corner. And I love that as a message. And that it's in a lot of ways, I think the Duffer Brothers doing Stranger Things fully understand, the power of things like that. Because they put their young characters through the paces, man. I tell you what, they get it done. And they've been rough lately, but there's so many films, funny films that you see that just become a huge part of your psyche. I love that stuff. Actually, oh yeah, I was that panel where Laurel is reaching towards Greylock with the hand was a total reference, a nod to E.T. out of respect. Bassmaster Dan's like, no. There's a documentary that you should all watch about the boom of Pulp Fiction. It's called Pulp Fiction, The Golden Age of Storytelling. I bet it is. Actually, I was just realizing something. I'm like, gotta move this up because I'm holding my paint differently. I was too old for it. Absolutely understood, man. I love that movie, What Dreams May Come, as a kid. Haven't seen Lawrence of Arabia since I was a young kid. Watched it with my grandma. Perhaps I'll check it out again. It's a great time to watch it in terms of the restoration. Blackjack, good to see you. Some underrated painted art. The covers of the Rampaging Hulk magazine series from the 70s. Beautiful painted covers by Ken Barr, Earl Norm, and Jim Starlin. I'll have to check that out. Starlin does some crazy good stuff. All of them do. Sorry, it was a play on purgatory and redemption. Absolutely. What Dreams May Come was written by Richard Matheson, the guy who wrote I Am Legend. That's right. Yes, the author of I Am Legend. Most girls were creeped out by E.T., while most guys found E.T. adorable. Yeah. It's a funny thing, right? It's I think it's good to look at these movies and understand that no matter how big a pop culture event is, it's always a time and place on some level. Now, some things stand the test of time, and some things are just they're iconic, and you never know what those things are going to be. But what it also points to is the fact that there's always room for us as creators and culture. There's always room for new things. And when it's been a while since people have been creating new things, I think that it's easy to think that those new things aren't ever possible, that they aren't going to happen, that they aren't going to come to be. Like, you can't imagine the next Star Wars till you see it, right? Just like people before Star Wars were trying to imagine, will there ever be a time when Flash Gordon serials are a big thing again, and people love science fiction, fantasy, and all that stuff. And when something is beyond your, imagination as a society to picture, of course, when it happens, it's going to feel like a tremendous shock. And you're seeing that right now with a lot of things, that we had a big boom in some very creative culture for a bit, and then it kind of just vanished. In comics, it has been a good long while since we've had anything on the level of what we're seeing now. Manga has been the comic revolution, has been the thing that has drawn the big audiences, but that's a failure on our part to create stories that resonate with the American audience. I think that's a tremendous stain on what we've been doing here, which is, bande dessinée is doing great. Other art forms are doing really great. So we've got to step it up. And I think it's because we took our foot off the pedal on quality and really just putting the time in on the work. I mean, manga books are gigantic. Sometimes they take a while, to come out. Sometimes they crank them out fast. And, I know the whole serial aspect of it and releasing them, in parts. But if you look at something, God rest him, like the work, Berserk, that's an incredible work. It's an incredible legacy. Hey, Almighty Magic, good to see you, my friend. Let me see here. Of course, let's see here, would have inspired. Oh, of course, Past Master. That movie inspired me to become a painter myself. The story, the visuals, the movie encourages me to pursue my dreams. That's great, man. E.T. was their little brother wearing their hats chancing for the guests. Absolutely. Sean, thanks for inspiring me to start painting. Oh, my gosh. I'm glad to hear it, and I love that piece. Thank you for sending it. I have to head out now. Take care, Stephen Rockwood. Have a great day, but I'll be listening, and thank you for being a member of this channel. Much appreciated. Yeah, nothing is beyond the imagination. It's boundless, indeed. And hail, chat, hail, Mighty Magic. Yeah, I mean, when I think about Frazetta's work, or I think about any of these cats who have come along and thrown down great work, I think they always had, when they're painting and when they're working, they have life experiences. They have things to sort of pull from. And it's not biographical. I don't mean in the auteur sort of theory world, that kind of thing. I mean it more in the sense of, when you saw Frazetta, painting the figure, what you see is what you got. I mean, it is what he had. I mean, he was one of those guys who felt it all. Like, he felt the passion. He felt the sexiness in the work, and he felt the adventure and the danger. That was the thing that was great. Same thing goes with Steranko. And if there's one thing I would say that is it makes me able to do what I'm able to do on Nosfero, it's been the fact that this is, I mean it, like, this is I've had experiences of adventure. I've had experiences of, just having real relationships with people and losing them and all of that kind of stuff that, if you have the ability to understand that and communicate it to others, it's not just having had the experiences. There's so much that you're able to accomplish. There's so much you're able to do. And that's a big part for me. What's up, Bad Crow Comics? Great to see you, my friend. Let's see. I enjoyed with that movies is Robin's character, personal heaven was his wife's painting to see himself with her within eternity in her work. The theme heaven is what you want it to be. Yeah, there's something so beautiful about that movie and artful. Not many movies reach for this level of immersion in story. Love it. Yeah, absolutely. And there was some crazy, creepy stuff in there too as well. But yes, Bad Crow Comics, it is great to see you, my friend. Yeah, I mean, we saw that movie in the theater, just the fact that his well, I say it's like, how much do I want to spoil about the movie? I won't say anything too much about it, because the part I'm talking about particularly is a bit of a spoiler. And I'm not wild about that kind of thing, but I do think it's one that it's a different kind of movie. It's like a slow burn spoiler. It's not like you're like, oh no, Bruce Willis is dead. This one's a little bit more of a soulful, kind of thing. So I do enjoy it. Yeah, great flick, man. Great flick. Yeah, the Cold War inspired the spy genre, and everyone was creating super spies. Yeah, and I think that right now, funny enough, I feel like I should be able to crack my neck right now. But I feel like right now, postmodernism and the death of fantasy and the rise of politics and political work has really inspired is going to continue to inspire the next generation of fantasy, because we're starved for it. We have been so disconnected from our what do you call it? The purest sort of aspect of our psyche. You know what I mean? The romantic, let's say. We've been so separated from that now that there's this unbelievable yearning for beauty. And we've been very anti-aesthetic for so long. And I think we're done. I think we want to see beauty. We don't want to just have the same conversations over and over again. And it's like, we don't want to just be trapped in this world where the big things, fantasy and myth to me, address the big things, not the little things. And we've been basically having the storytelling equivalent of reading the tax code for the last, I don't know how long, for the last decade or so, or 2 decades perhaps. And we're done. We're all done with that. Like, I think that the psyche of the audience is like, can we dream again? Is it okay if we dream again and not get stuck in this mire that we're in? Yeah. Time to drive, time to lurk. Excellent. Drive safe, my friend, American Comics Company. Drive safe. We'll hope to entertain you here on the drive with some good conversation, which is what we do here, But I'm really relieved and glad that people are articulating what we're doing more and more. I think the description of this is the Iron Age. I was watching a video that Eric July posted that was of him and his team packing up boxes and all of that kind of stuff for the for his campaign. And I was just thinking, and my brother Gabe did the coloring on, and is doing the coloring on issue 2. And I think that people appreciate that. I think people appreciate seeing the hard work that goes into this stuff. And it's always been a part of, when Walt Disney was promoting what he was doing at the animation studio, man, it was like he was absolutely, just trying to let people in and show them, like, we're making magic here. Check this stuff out. I think it's an important part of this stuff, man. I think it's a very important part, and we're doing it here. And people come in here and it's like, how many people are people watching on YouTube draw who are making stories right before their eyes? I mean, that's something special that we do here. And I'm glad. It's wonderful to have an audience that's that passionate about it, We'd like to be done, but we still need to drive the stake into the heart of the vampire. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. We'd like to be done. I read that as driving. We'd like to be done, but we still need to drive the heart of the. Yeah, I think that's about to happen. I really do. I mean, we've been watching the conversational shift, but it's. I believe it is. I believe that it is amoral for people charged or with the opportunity, I should say, the wherewithal, the financial means, the distribution that is way more than anybody or any one of us can imagine having access to, you know, although we've got more than we've ever had as an indie scene to be, absent or derelict in their duty to provide entertainment to people the rules are simple, or I should say the social contract is simple. People go to work, they work their tails off, and when they come home, they want to be entertained, they want to be inspired, they want to see things that are just get them like excited about the next day, put fuel in their spiritual tank, so to speak. And when people aren't doing that, I think it starts to backbuild, and people get angry, and they finally get to a point where they say, why am I putting up with this? And I think we're hitting that. Why am I putting up with this? What's up, Phil? How are you doing? Great to see you, my friend. And the groomsman, I was just talking about you. Great to see you, man. Yeah, I'm here. Friday can start now. Absolutely. No, you didn't just wake up. You've been up for a while. But I was just talking about, what was I talking about? I can't remember, but something. Someone will remind me. Ethan is the ringleader. I love that character. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's see here. Phil. Yeah, it's great to see you, Phil, man. Absolutely great to see you. I was watching your stream last night. I was watching you guys do some drawing and some chatting. But yeah, it's I've had, I think some of the most fun that I've had lately is just those kinds of those phone calls. I know that may sound crazy in this day and age, but it's I've had a lot of fun phone calls and great phone calls with my fellow creators. And Phil and I've had one. I've had great calls with Gabe, and we just talk, and the time just disappears. That's the kind of fun that we're having as we develop this stuff and see where it goes. I mean, again, we talk about these leaps of faith that we all take and that you guys take. And this is the thing. When that stuff happens, you almost can't believe where things are going. Like, I was on a live stream with Jean-Claude Van Damme's stuntman because of Gabe and him reaching out to and meeting Todd at a convention. And then Jericho and I were on this stream talking about, hearing all these behind the scenes Van Damme stories. And it was so great, man. It was like, we were just like, we were in heaven, man. It was wonderful. And those are the things that come about. If someone will see something that we're doing here and go, maybe one of you guys, as Stephen Rockwood was saying, oh man, I want to start painting. I want to start doing this stuff. And, or man, you know what? This is reminding me of a movie or a book I haven't seen in ages that I really want to watch again. I mean, to me, that's what makes entertainment so great. And that's what makes what we do so important. And I can't say that enough, man. If there's a reverence when you go to the drawing board, there's a reverence I have for my responsibilities, but also for the history of great artists who've come before me. Frank Frazetta, of course, is a big one. Phil, does the Lost Pages 3 sign up start? Yeah, when does the Lost Pages 3 sign up start? Yeah, Phil, when is the sky's the limit? Absolutely it is. This is it. Dare to be great, dare to dream. Bingo, we already got enough real world in our everyday life. We don't need more of that. The safe retreat of being entertained. Yes, absolutely. Zaid Comics, what were you snacking on late last night? Goldfish. There you go, man. The groom's been sucked in now. That's right. I might not have seen anywhere on your IGG, but will you also sell your physical interior pages? That is something that's like, it's I'm pondering all of that right now. That's a great question, Badger Boy. But no, they haven't been up until this point. They haven't, definitely not been. Is that just watercolor? This, see some extra texture, led me to believe it's mixed media. This is actually heavy body acrylics being used in washes. So yeah, that's why you're seeing some of that texture happen. So it's like, I'm like, what stuff can I show on YouTube? Because there's some pretty gnarly stuff happening up there. But yeah, that's what allows for me to do. Let me show you the panel things. Something like that where I'll carve back in. It's a panel border that's made to create that flow that you see me doing a lot of times. That is the stuff I live for. This book is going to just be like falling through a dream, and that's the fun thing. Mailing list drops tonight on the Diaz Brothers show. Hey, Phil, you got to shoot me, email me the trailer to Lost Pages 3 so I can be playing that thing on my channel. I'm updating all of my trailers. That's why it was a bit short today. I've got to get Truth Justice back up there. I've got to get, I'm going to get Vaughn's up there, but I've been doing a lot of work trying to just pare down what's happening in here. So I have Vaughn's trailer on our show we do next Thursday. We're going to be doing The Vampire Lovers with Ingrid Pitt, another Hammer horror film. We were just shooting the bull about that the other day. But yeah, guys, we're having fun, man. And I hope we're entertaining you. I mean, it's not just obviously if it was just about us having fun here, we wouldn't be live streaming all this stuff and hanging out. The reason we're here is to entertain you guys. Someone asked me, they go, what considerations do I make before I stream? And I was saying, I don't have a set schedule when I stream because of what I'm doing. These aren't throwaway paintings. These are pages of the book. And so I've got to know I'm ready to paint on camera before I can do it. And it's weird because even when I would go to comic conventions, promoting books I'd worked on and things like that, one of the things about it was people would always ask you to do sketches at conventions. And you've got to get yourself into a mindset to draw and paint in front of people. Like, you just have to, whether it's doing demos as a teacher, any of that stuff. And I tell you guys, it's like, I've got to do it when I can, like when I'm in the mode, and I've got to force myself to do it. What is up, my friend? How you doing? I think Alex Ross uses really thinned down acrylics and they look like watercolor. I could be wrong. I know he's used watercolor and gouache, but he probably changes up what he does. You might be right. I'd make a terrible critic. I love everything. I love a lot of stuff, so I might be there with you. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, please do. Yeah, man. You know how we do it. I see comics gators growing every day. You're absolutely right, man. This is the thing. That's why I'd like to play the Denzel Washington quote at the start of the show, because it's true. You've got to commit to the things you do, and then you've got to try to be as consistent as you possibly can be. And the consistency is the big thing. It's not about, although thank you guys for being here. Hit like and subscribe and share this out, by the way. But if I look purely at what is, like the numbers of everything, which I know you got to do on some level, but for me, it's about the biggest thing I measure is, all right, when's the last time I've done a stream? Because when stuff crops up with family and you got to take people to the doctor and things like that, you got to do that. That's got to be your focus. You know what I mean? You can't just, ignore the health of your family, obviously. But the thing about it is that I do always keep a tally, and I look at that thing, when's the last time I streamed, and I've got to get back after it, because it's everybody I know in CG has got a lot of stuff going on. Some people talk about the stuff they've got going on, but other people don't. Some people just they that's not their style. To kind of go and say, all right, this is going on. Some people are more conversational in that way. So I'd never give myself, I give myself time to make sure I'm handling all the things I got to handle, but I don't give myself, I've never been good at that, giving myself permission to not stop grinding away on this thing, because that's the way it is, streaming everything. Hey, what's up, Aviator Surge? Good to see you, my friend. He probably uses gouache at conventions because it dries faster. There you go. And it's great to see you, my friend. And what's up, JV? Good to see you. Past Master Dan, I know it's bad. I just had really good elements, and I can't overlook the detail. Always room for growth. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, that's a part of it all. He probably uses gouache conventions. Good afternoon. That's why I streamed last night. I had to. It's been too long. See, that's the thing. And I know you've got a Universal stream coming up. And I'm excited about that, man. Are you off today, or are you at work? I don't know if you're on lunch break at work. Probably on lunch break at work, Phil. But yeah, Phil was just away, I think, at Universal, and I can't wait to see footage he has. I think he was there during the Halloween Horror Night stuff and all of that stuff. And that's one of my dreams. I'd love to go down there and check out those haunted houses at some point. It looks like a great park, and I love interactivity and all that stuff. So yeah, it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. There we go. Oh, that works out. Every now and again, right? I won't be thinking, and then something will happen. At work. That's what I figured. I remember doing a singing, sorry. Oh, I got to get hooked on phonics. I remember doing a signing at a con with a team. We were all sketching for fans, and I was not prepared. The person in line who was next saw me draw, and when they got to me, they said, "No thanks." No, that is rough. Yeah, Phil, that beat stream was lame. And you call yourself a bro sniff. I'm honored that the groomsman watches my streams. Yeah, absolutely, man. He's a legend, man. He does some crazy good stuff. I'll tell you that. I don't know if any of you guys saw his entry for my brother Vaughn's Terror in the Trenches art contest. Actually, it was a winning entry, I think. Beautiful, man. Beautiful stuff. Love his drawing ability. We go way back. I mean, I used to not spend so much time on the way, but as we get older, I'm like way back. That is without a doubt what it is. But yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, you know, it's there's this Disney quote that I really like, and I think that it's most people, and I don't even doubt in CG will you know, would with kids and family will you know, agree with it and second it, where he said, you know, a man who puts his career before his responsibilities as a father and a husband is, you know, or as a family man is you know, is not a man in any real sense. And I was like, whoa, that was like a pretty heavy thing to hear Walt say. But considering how productive and prolific he was and how much he was able to make time for his family as a priority, I think it's something that we all strive for. And that's one of the things I love about it, is just trying to make sure I'm keeping that focus going. You know, when Sean goes to Universal Horror Fest, he's going as Nosfero, bare-chested with giant skull belt. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work, but you never know. Yeah, PM, there you go. There you go. Yeah, man. Zaid Comics trying to figure out what snacks everyone eats. That's right, exactly. That's a key part of it. Yeah, man, I will say this. They're that Universal, they are building, for people who do not know, I do watch my fair share of theme park channels because I grew up loving Disney Imagineering and all that stuff, and Disney as well. And before they went nuts. And there's a channel that covers the Universal new park Epic Universe. And one of the things I am so excited about and thrilled about is they're making a classic Universal Monsters land. And I am beyond thrilled about that because I love the Universal Monsters. I think they've needed, you know, a modern, high-end, you know, theme park attraction for a long time, because that's the bread and butter of that studio. That is what Carl Laemmle, you know, Sr., when he was launching the studio, that's what you know, made them what they are today. And so to honor that legacy and see them honoring that in the theme park is great. I mean, those things are evergreen properties. We were talking about evergreen properties. Oh man, I can't believe I didn't do it this Halloween. Almost every Halloween, I'll do it this week, I watch Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein and the Wolfman, because it's the fact that you could use those characters in both a comedy and then go back to 1931 and see them, you know, having the gravity they do, and that they're still the most beloved icons of horror around the world is incredible, man. It's like Nosferatu. It's beautiful. I missed the answer, but the interior page is for sale. Question again. Yeah, it's TBA. That just really depends on a lot of different factors. So I'm not positive at this point yet. So we'll see. Let me see here. I think that Walt quote works for women too. Absolutely. I've been raising, let me see. I've been raising by 3 boys myself for 6 years now. Congratulations. Tip my hat to you. Because I always choose my kids over everything else. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, it works for everybody. I think that, what's the word I'm looking for? I think the reason why that quote was what it was because during that time, I think that there was, I mean, going way back to Walt's time, I think there was an attitude that was acceptable, for men to do. And I think that it's yes, men and women have to work. It's my wife and I both work. It's the way it is. That's how we are. But it's yeah, it's we, that's the thing, and that's the same thing with kindness to strangers you meet and everybody. It's so important. Oh, for heaven's sake. Thank you. From your lips to God's ears. Sean, do you know more details on Universal Monsters theme parks? Where did you read about that? Oh, it's being built. It hasn't been officially announced, but it is known. So there is a YouTube channel called, let me see here. I know what it is, but I have to type to visually see it. Is it? The channel is called Theme Park Stop. And Theme Park Stop, they're reporting on the progress of the Nintendo World in Orlando. There's the Minions ride that's going to replace Shrek 3D, and they have a bunch of videos talking about the Universal Monsters land that's going to be in Epic Universe. And if you go to Theme Park Stop's YouTube channel, you can find all of that stuff. It is crazy cool. Pineapple and cottage cheese is my go-to, bro. There you go. I really liked Carnival of Lost Souls. The best part of that movie was the long, creepy organ piano soundtrack. I love soundtracks when I work. Sometimes I put Jello in it with whipped cream. There you go. No doubt about it. But it's there's a dark ride. They're going to be making the entire land almost like what they did with Hogwarts, where it's going to be like I think it's either Frankenstein or Dracula's. I think it's Frankenstein's village from that. So you're walking through these old sets, and you have to imagine, because it's Universal and so much of this stuff is archived and crazily documented by fanatics. You have to imagine that that they've got all of the schematics of the various sets that they did for those classic movies. So I have a feeling that what they're looking to create is to make you feel like you are stepping into those movies, like you're stepping into a dream. And I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see how they put that together. That's going to just be the cat's pajamas, man. I really do. I love the Universal monsters. I think they're so great. And again, they're a huge influence on what I'm doing here. I mean, Nosfero is a love letter to, how do I word this? To Hammer horror films, Universal horror films. But the big thing I would say is something I've heard Guillermo del Toro say. I like the aesthetics of horror, not so much the mechanics of horror. I prefer the mechanics of sword and sorcery. And so it's that this book is kind of an amalgam of those things, those great things. And I know I talk a lot about Frazetta's influence on me, obviously. But the person who's been really influencing me lately, because I just got the artist edition, but also because I've just been sucked into his work, is Bernie Wrightson. I love Bernie Wrightson. Let's see here. Sometimes blah, blah. It's Ambrosia without the baby marshmallow. There you go. I think I misremembered. It's probably Joe Jusko who uses thin down acrylics. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Alex Ross probably uses gouache, but don't believe anything I say. That's fine. Don't worry about it, my friend. It's no big deal. I mean, you know how it is. It's like my brain's still getting started. Both can be true. Yep, absolutely right. And I just think that when people talk about, when I was watching Theme Park Stop talk about it, a lot of people or talk about that thing, the Universal stuff. One of the things that was interesting is they talked about how people were upset because there was this Universal Monster Cafe that was beloved, and then they took it apart, took it down, and closed it. And what people were saying is, well, they're most likely building a better version of it, and they need all of those assets and resources to relocate them. And there's no doubt in my mind that that's what's going on, because it's people love those characters. And yeah, I cannot wait to see what they do. It's going to be something great, because I mean, if you look at Hogwarts and you look at that, you want to talk about a company that's doing it really well. Universal's theme parks are doing it well, and they've benefited tremendously from the blunders of the Walt Disney Company, because the Walt Disney Company started, I guess, playing, being cheap with their creators, or at the very least, being disrespectful of their expertise in building the theme parks. And a lot of them jumped ship and went to Universal. And, that's the thing. Skilled and talented people who hit their marks when it comes to, delivering product and delivering good product. That's what you build things on. And that's how you make things work. Like, it makes me laugh to think of the kind of BS that a lot of the image creators or other people were, dealing with when they were at Marvel and DC. It was just like, know what's involved, like know who's putting, paying the bills. And their Imagineers were just exceptional people. Let's see here. Yeah. Can't go wrong with Wrightson. Amen. I love what John Malin's done with the Universal Monsters and Graveyard Shift. Couldn't agree more. Different take for sure, but fun. Shanth, is Frank Frazetta and Bernie Wrightson love child? I knew it. Yeah, that's from your lips to God's ears again. I wish. It's fantastic stuff. What I would give to see Shanth paint an entire run of Hellboy, maybe 5-issue run. Oh my God, that makes me feel tired just thinking about it. Mini Hellboy, Vladimir versus Vlad the Impalers. Risen Corpse, yes, or something of that nature. Yeah, I mean, that's something I could definitely do for a pinup one day. Pronounce Schenectady. There you go. I'm getting there. Or Schenectady, is it? Or Schenectady? I can't remember. Your book is going to be a crowning jewel in the independent comic scene. Yeah, I mean, guys, that is the goal. When I'm doing this, when I'm working on this project, the thing I know and I understand is that people are going to have these books with them for a long time. And my plan as it stands for this is, when I get to the point, and there'll be, ample heads up about it. When I get to the point where I close this campaign, what I'm going to be doing is, one of my next projects is going to be something, or next campaigns, not my next project, is going to be something with this book, with this material. And everybody who got in on this early is going to have that first printing and have it at the best price you could possibly imagine for this thing. Because it is just, it's a tremendous amount of work I'm putting into it. But my attitude was, it was about, putting it out there and meeting you guys, meeting the people who were going to be into it. Think about me launching this book, not knowing all of you guys existed. How unbelievably that terrifying that was on a level. And then on another level, I had faith that you guys would be here. And thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I can't overstate that, guys. Let's see. You should throw Jeff Jones in there with Wrightson and Frazetta. You know what's funny? I like Jeff Jones's stuff. I have the book by the Fenners. That's great. It's the best reproductions of his stuff. The one that came out after from I forget what publisher it was, is dreadful. All of the reproductions have a violet hue to them. Read the Amazon reviews. It just is so depressing. Like, they just did a terrible color correcting job with that. But that stuff for me, this is gonna sound so odd, but it's a little too painterly for me. I love it. It's great. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I love it, but it just is missing. Right. If you think about it this way, like, I kind of get to Wrightson, or I should say Frazetta, through his kind of cartoony, work with the line holds in it. And Jeffrey Catherine Jones, outside of like the comic stuff and some of that stuff, when painting, doesn't do as many line holds as I do. The biggest influence on my work in totality is Alphonse Mucha. And so that kind of speaks to it. There's something about Czech artists. Yeah, Schenectady. Okay, got it. Are you working for model sheets? No, I don't work for model sheets. Gosh, my process is ridiculous. It's in the best sense. I just sort of feel the characters and sort of feel my way through it, and the scenes and everything. It all kind of comes to me like a mosaic almost. And like, I see imagery, but when it comes to the characters, I kind of learn the characters as I'm painting them. And this book right here like, I mean, I know what they look like in my head, and I have a picture of them in my head, but it's you guys are seeing the creation of so much in this book. Like, I can't overstate how excited I am about that. Like, when you guys get this book, it is the birth of so many things, guys. And I'm doing this book. How do I word this? I can't overstate, and I may never fully ever speak about it. It's just the way it is. This book means more to me, and the completion of this book means more to me than you can know. I mean, I can't ever fully express it. There's a lot of, sometimes you work on something and it's just it's a personal thing. It's the realization of a life goal. It's the overcoming of a lot of garbage. And that's why, again, a lot of the people I admire the most are fighters, because fighters have a very particular biography of overcoming a lot of horseshit adversity and stuff that they deal with in their youths, and they sort of, take it out in the ring or take it out on the page, and it's a battle with yourself ultimately in that sense. And every artist I know who is doing, solid work and great work, you don't know where that drive and that motivation comes from, but sometimes a project comes along that is about so much more than just the skill on the page, although that's a big part of it. And this is one of them. There's been so much. My life has been changed by doing this book and taking this leap, and by your support, guys. You guys in the chat and your support. I hope I say it enough, because it's heartfelt, man. What about Kelly Jones getting a new respect for stuff? Yeah, Kelly Jones is great. He's got artist editions out too, so you can see his inks up close. Yeah, I heard that. Let's see here. The second book needs to have a half cat man named Shane McPherson. All right, I will make it happen. But yeah, Kelly Jones is great, man. I actually there's for those of you guys not following Joe M. Sontag's channel, he's going to be talking about Bernie Wrightson. And but yeah, Kelly Jones is another person who, like me, is inspired. Of course, a legend in the field. Let's be clear. I'm not the legend that Kelly Jones is by any stretch, but who was influenced by Bernie Wrightson. And again, that just is, I love that about that stuff. I didn't understand Kelly Jones's stuff when I first saw it, because I wasn't really reading DC or Marvel at that point, and so I was kind of out of it. And I didn't understand that, and I hadn't really, gone as sort of deep into Bernie Wrightson's career and over whatever you pronounce it, and his body of work. And man, like, yeah, totally seeing those inks and seeing those originals. Holy heck fire! That is some good stuff, guys. Some really good stuff. There we go. Painting. And thank you guys for being here. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you're subscribed, man. Let's see. Kelly Jones looks like Kevin Sorvant. Now, there you go. Let's see here. I hate you. Autocorrect. Autocorrect. Kevin Sorbo. Is that what you're saying? I bet it was. Kelly Jones is like me, a legend. Shanta J. Yeah, no, that's not what I meant. Yeah, not at all. I'm a legend. Maybe I'm a legend in my own mind, but not really. I just do the work. What is it that Werner Herzog said? He goes, "I'm not about, the journey and the pain. I'm not one of those. I'm just a quiet soldier of cinema." And yeah, I'm a quiet soldier of comics. That's what I am. I don't think you get enough credit for all the stuff you do for all the other CGers. I only found out about you because of EVS praising. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that meant a lot to me too. Yeah, I only found out about EVS saying that because Darren Wagner, D-Wag, go check out his YouTube channel, was sent me a Twitter message and said, just so you know, EVS was singing your praises on his channel. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't know what to make of it. It was cool. I mean, it's I'm one of those people who those things are never lost on me. And I like hearing, it's great when people talk about, I don't know how to word this, so it's going to be clumsy, but I'm glad that people when people describe me as being very positive, but I will say that it's not something that's just, it's not fake, it's not bullshit, it's not any of that other stuff, and it's really nice to hear people say something positive as well. I don't believe in saying, "Oh, I'll say something positive about you, so you say something positive about me," because that never, that never means anything. But it was just the sincerity of him in that moment, saying that was just meant a lot, to say people were, because I worked really hard on that card. The original is now in a wonderful home of someone who bought it, and the sketches and the trace for it. But it meant a ton to me because you try to be the best person you can be, and you try to work your ass off. I mean, I think that's most people. And when people notice it, it means something. It does, like, sincerely notice it, because I do give a shit, and I do work really hard, and I try to be the best dad I can be. I try to be the best husband I can be. And I try to be the best artist, the best steward of this, of these people who've been smearing paint on cave walls, for, over 46,000 or 50,000 years. And to have a fellow artist say something kind about you is, and someone you respect, is always great, man. Let's see here. I don't think that oh geez, I can't read that twice. That was wonderful. Thank you. I'm not bad, Eddie. I'm just drawn that way. Love that. That's a great movie. Roger Rabbit was such a big inspiration. Anthony Gonzalez, Clark. What up, chat? Hail to you, my friends. Great to see you. But yeah, I mean, there's art is a very, art is something that, for me anyway, needs to be shared with people. And I love when people buy originals, when I can stand to sell them. I love when people buy them, because I know that that's somebody's in somebody's house. That's, somebody is it's valuable in a way, not just monetary. And I think that that to share your work, to bring inspiration to people, is one of the most important things that you can do. It's a noble cause, but it's a cause that, that we all should sort of, I think sometimes have to be humble before it, and sort of say, okay, I'm this is a responsibility. It's a responsibility to do your best work. And I think that that's what inspires me when I see my fellow creators, Shane Davis, John Malin, and all those guys, when I see Phil and all of the amazing work that he's doing in creativity, when I see my brother, of course, Gabe, he was showing me some stuff last night, some pages that were just so freaking killer. Yeah, and that was like a phone call and texting images, because sometimes, not everything's a stream. And then, it's like when Vaughn is showing pages and stuff like that. Eric Weathers is showing pages. When, gosh, I mean, I could just go on and on and on. All the people, Michael Bancroft, I think, is doing I mean, I know it will continue to get even better, but if you haven't seen the pages he's doing on Lucent too, I mean, that dude is doing the work of his career. I mean, he is just next level in it, man. Yeah. Let's see, 50K years allegedly. Hold on a second, I just missed that. Yeah. What was it, that cave that you can't really go in, that's closed to tourists, that they found? I forget which one it is, but there's a good crack. That Werner Herzog did a 3D documentary walking through that cave called Cave of Forgotten Dreams, and it's, of course, Werner going, "What kind of thoughts were the people having in the cave? We don't know. Did they have sandwiches? Did they cry? Did they dream of a day when we would have laptops?" Like, it's like, what the hell are you talking about, Warner? But it's great video footage. Yeah. What's up, Mighty Magic? Always great to see you. What's up, Cranberry Langers? Howdy, Shelton, everybody. Lurking, enjoying your art. Thank you so much, Cranberry Langers. It's great to see you, brother. One of the OG guys. Much love. Leg Kick 1, speaking of OG. Hail, Shelton, Jetty, and chat. I hope you are well. I hope you are well, Leg Kick 1. It's great seeing you, my friend. I'll never forget meeting you when we were doing a Double Impact, and having you on the channel is great. Shanth has this problem. I do, letting work leave cell when I spend 250 hours. Oh yeah. That's the thing I always say. It's not about, there's no way that any of us are working up to an hourly rate, wage on this stuff. We are, that comes from the book and that comes from the sales, but it's like you have to sell a lot of comic books for it to equal the hours that you put into it. And you guys know, because you guys are with me for all these hours, Eli Munoz, I'm stealing the land, smearing paint on cave walls. That's right, for this sci-fi story. Excellent. Yeah, I love that stuff. Everybody's saying hello, hello. The pages Anthony is working on, cough, cough. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's some killer stuff, guys. There's some killer stuff. I love I love that that the artwork, I always refer to it this way, and the person I sold it to really understood this, the Cyberfrog card art. They said, thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you for selling the piece and everything like that. They contacted me when Ethan showed some behind the scenes work on his Patreon that I was doing. Like, I sent him a sketch and he posted it on his Patreon. This person messaged me, I think, pretty immediately and said, are you going to sell that piece? And I said, well, right now, I'm not going to sell. Like, I have an agreement with Ethan. I said, before I sell it, I will give you first pass on it. He said, no, sell it. You can sell it, Jonathan. I said, well, before I do, I will make sure and confirm with you that you don't, want it. You get the first crack at it, which for me, this is a crazy thing. You guys might not know this about Ethan, or maybe you do. Hopefully, if you've been watching long enough, you do. I charged Ethan for ownership of the original 2. And when I was done with the project, he said, don't worry about it. Love the piece. Great job. Sell it and make money for your family. I was bowled over. But what I said to him at the time was, if you change your mind, let me know. I will let you know when I sell it. And it's either I will give it to you or I will sell it. Now, that's a lot of money. And Ethan was like, of course, was kept to his word. He said, go ahead, sell it, make money for your family. I mean, and the person who contacted me about buying it, I kept their email and I said, you get the first crack at this. And I sold it to them. And they also wanted to buy the sketches and everything else. But that's the kind of character of people that you meet in CG. Like, people don't understand. They know, Ethan knows I've got kids. He knows I do not share, just because, the internet's weird. You guys know this. But I don't share pictures of my family with people who aren't family for the most part. They're always blurred out. They're always what they are. It's like, it's just not my bag. But when Ethan was had a tough time, there's tough stream one time, and he was like, kind of just bummed. He was like, about people calling him racist, all that crap. And he talked about this on a recent stream. I sent him a picture of my mixed family. And I said, look at these people. None of these people think you're racist. This is absolutely ridiculous. What's up, B-Rose? How's everything in Houston? Great to see you. Yeah, Ethan is very generous. He is. He's very generous, and he's very kind. Just a terrific guy. KSS, great to see you, my friend. Let's see here. Jonathan Jetty, Art, I have something incredibly important to tell you. And the chat, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, the internet is weird. That's strange. Yeah, what's up, Art and Times? Jay Ryan, great to see you. Happy birthday, my Doge. Yeah, it's great to see you guys. But this is the thing, is that because everybody is, God, this is, Sean's articulate level is in the trash today, so apologies, but everybody is just people. Everybody is just, all these creators, it's like, yes, the money is great. Yes, when you're, making, $1 million here, $1 million there. But, it's like you do have these moments where you just kind of, you're just at the desk for most of the time. You guys are here, when I do these streams and you see that section of it. But you're just at the desk by yourself most of the time. And when you're doing a job, as Ethan said, that he never thought would be wildly consequential. It was just, he's drawing comics. It's just a fun job. He never thought he was going to face that kind of garbage he did. And all of us, including myself, who find yourself suddenly thrown into this kind of, at least it wasn't my job too, this culture of just insanity. You're like, I'm in the business of helping people when you're a teacher. Why the hell is this crap now being a thing? You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard enough already. And it's a purely positive thing. Why are you trying to make it sick and something it's not? And I always say you can't go wrong if there's an artist or there's a person who has inspired you. There's always a way to find their social media, their email, or something. Leave them a positive comment. If they did some work, I left a message for Rick Baker on his Instagram once and said, Rick, thank you for all of the decades of work you've done. You've changed my life for the better. I would not be the artist I am today without you. And Rick was like, liked and said, thanks. Like, while you've got people on this planet, guys, tell them that you love them, you love their work, and you're excited about it. Those people that are still with us who are older artists now, send those messages out to them. You saw that outpouring for George Perez. You saw that outpouring by so many people. I wish I had sent a message like that to Bernie Wrightson before he passed away. I just wasn't as savvy on social media. So I had to instead leave a message for his wife to read when he passed. That sucks. You know what I mean? That sucks. And I hope you guys can appreciate what your support means for us. The backing of the books, all the super chats, all of the times you like our streams, and all the times you subscribe to our channels, all the times you leave a positive comment. I don't know if people truly understand. And I hope you do. I hope I can convey that. It means a lot to us. That's it. That's all I got for that. Anyway, thank you guys. Let's see here. All right. Hello, darlings. Hello, Sean Fair. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. To quote the Muppets, Take Manhattan, people is people. People is not tomatoes. People is not potatoes. People is people. I know where it is. I just don't know how to get there. Another one of my favorite lines from Muppets Take Manhattan. Love the cabbie. They made him famous and wealthy. Cool. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, happy birthday to all of you guys, man. Happy birthday to all of you guys. You guys are cracking me up, man. Yeah, thank you for remembering Art and Times, Jay Ryan streamers. Absolutely. Living by proxy is abhorrent. Amen. 10 years ago, I told an artist, I love you. I love your work. Kevin Spacey. I regret that. It's true. Still, he was great in 7. Yeah, he was. My lesson to you, participate. Amen. Yeah, man. Sean, we all know. Man. Thank you, brother. I love you. You know that. It's a lot of, I was just trying to draw myself out of, and work myself out of tough situations. And the thought of it, like, I needed to draw. Let's see here if I can grab this orange paint here. The thought that I needed to, that it was, I had dreams, I had hopes, I had, that I would be able to use this to get me, past a lot of tough stuff. But it is a whole nother kettle of fish when it does. When you meet people, like I got people in Comicsgate, who I talk to on the phone and call me up, and we just have these conversations, and we're just talking about, the stuff we're going through, the stuff we're working on and developing, and how kind of crazy it is to be in the eye of the storm, of some of the stuff going on. And but the gratitude is always there. It's nice to be around people. It's a blessing to be around people that are positive and so supportive like you guys are, man. And I appreciate it. I'm surprised I didn't find you at the end, find you and end you in Minecraft. Yeah. Art for art's sake, Michael. What's so funny is whenever I read that quote, I always think about Dave Stevens had this Bulldog Studio logo, and it said art for ARF's sake, which I love, man. It always made me smile. Yeah, it's good stuff. Happy birthday, darlings. Indeed, you will always regret the action you did take. Amen. Yeah, I saw Michael Gold at New York Comic Con 2022, but I'm introverted and didn't say anything. Well, listen, it happens. You can't beat ourselves up. Oh, Canberry Langers, thank you, man. Thanks for the positive you bring to the world, Sean. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for that. Art and Times of Jay Ryan, he did not, but like Dave Grohl, he has a restraining order against me. Hail, everybody. Yes, indeed. Happy birthdays. We are but candles in the wind. Absolutely. All we are candles in the wind. No, it doesn't work. Seems to me we lived our lives like candles in the wind. It's tough. I'm back. What I missed. Don't worry. Not too much. Just a lot of silliness from me. A lot of heartfelt silliness. Awkward but sincere. But yeah, man. It's. I know you guys know this story if you follow this channel, but I had a really kind of wonderful conversation the other night. Went to a restaurant, date night with my wife, and we just so happened to be in the restaurant, and they sat us next to the parents of a soldier I painted, who was killed in Afghanistan. And I mean, they were out by themselves, and I didn't want to get into a big conversation. And when they wrapped up their meal, because I was like, they're on date night. Like, I don't want to like go, oh, hey, hi, I painted your son and that sort of stuff and ruin their night. But it was after their meal, they said, I know that you painted my son, blah, blah. And I said, oh my gosh, yes, I did. And we talked for 45 minutes to an hour. We had a great conversation with them. And, those are the things that I'm always grateful for. I'm always thankful for when those things happen. You get to meet people and try to bring something nice in their lives and see what good people they are, and learned about, what Andrew's father, First Sergeant Andrew McKenna's father, did, and his, time he spent traveling overseas, and, the kind of work he did. And it was great, man. It was great. Good people, man. Good people. Let's see here. Oh, wow. It just jumped on me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm back when I miss. How great thou art. Yeah, I guess. What is that? I'm not sure what that's about, but that's yes, indeed. God is definitely that. I'm more of a cat box in the wind. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Is someone getting the best of you at KSSS? Yes, absolutely. Thank you, KS. Oh, wow. Thank you for the link. Nosfero, the Crypt Walker guys. Yes, back it if you haven't already. I know a lot of you guys have. Some people go out like a stub cigarette near a barroom doorway. Yeah, that's kind of my life, man. Let's see here. Let's see. Paint pictures with words. Absolutely. Thou art times of J. Ryan. The sky is the neighborhood. Indeed. Manly man. Yeah, that's right. It's and you get these moments. Like here's a perfect example. You've got Greylock in this scene, severely wounded, and this is the kid that he has raised since they were both in captivity, man. Being held by this psychopathic vampire bastard. He's even a bastard amongst the vampires. He stole a couple pages out of this grimoire that was crafted by my villain, and it's just my villain, ultimate big baddie, Amun al-Hazred, and he swiped it from him. And he's just experimenting on this kid and keeping and, essentially allowing to starve Greylock. And when they both escape, and basically at the birth of or rebirth of this character as Nosfero, when the boy becomes, receives these powers because of this crazy ritual that bastard is attempting. They form this bond. They both escape, and there's this relationship, and it is a tough thing for him to see his mentor, this father figure to him, this father in all senses of the word. And if I was to say, because one of my favorite writers is Taylor Sheridan, who writes Yellowstone, if I was to say what their relationship is, it's a lot like in a in the sense that I'm able, the pages I have to explore it. It's like John Dutton and Rip Wheeler is the best way I could describe it. It's crazy, man. Let's see here. Comics Gate is a Cloud City cool. Yeah, there you go. Oh, wait, subscribe to the Art and Times of Jay Ryan's brand new channel. Let's get him to 1,000 subs today, or 50. Yeah. Hey, listen, I saw 80s Made with Aaron Leprestion, and I remember when I saw him review Michael Bancroft's book. We struck up a conversation. You guys went in there and backed it. What page number is this? Have you started painting the final page yet? No, I haven't started painting the final page yet. There's a couple of pages that I'm gonna really have to be in the zone when I paint, and I can't show you that. It's a spoiler, but yeah, it's gonna be something. And it's the page where the ritual with Nosfero happens. But I've got more pages than I can shake a stick at now. It's crazy. Oh man, that's great. That's anything that brings people hope is great. Shanth, have you ever used Copics? I have used liners, but not actual markers. Those are great. Wind River, thumbs up. There you go. Names I rarely remember. I've been there. That's why I keep coming back to the stream. Oh, thank you, man. Your kindness and excitement is a good example of that others and myself hope to convey to others. Guys, you will never regret being kind to people. You may find yourself. I was talking with a friend who was on the receiving end of some bullshit, being kind, and you've seen it with Ethan. Well, I'll use Ethan as an example because it's out there and everyone's seen it. But even though, it's painful and it's crummy to get backstabbed like he has been by various people, and not to beat a dead horse or to, open, up, an old can of worms or whatever. But, what people saw from that was his kindness, and they saw, like, they learned about his character and his generosity, and they understood that it's not just like, it's not a small thing to give people a stage and that there's no downside to it. You can give somebody an opportunity to make money, to take care of their family and be really supportive of them, and then find that they have no appreciation of that and that they're going to do something negative. But I don't think it's hurt. It's not necessary for him to experience any more of that. So by all means, people out there, don't feel free to not, if you're a creator that he's helped, feel free to not stab him in the back. That'd be great. But it's not like it just made me, and I'm sure with a lot of you guys, all the more justified, I guess I'd say, in backing and supporting him. That's that. You know what I mean? Because you just go, that's a dude. That's a good dude, man. And he doesn't deserve to have stabbed in the back by his former, colleagues at DC and Marvel. But it's like, for heaven's sake, man, certainly not for people that he's, made $100,000 for God's sake. It's craziness. Let me see here. Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Amen. I try to be kind to strangers. I saw, oh God, I was a kid. I remember seeing that movie, and that old George Burns looking guy just might be God on vacation, unless he's stay away from space. Yeah. Oh my God, the chat is making me laugh. Oh my God. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe if you haven't, by the way. I always forget to say that. Yeah, there's enough negativity out there. Choosing to be positive and going forward with excitement and hope can only spread that to others. Yeah. And I'll tell you this, guys. We need examples of that stuff. When I know you guys know the story, but when I met Todd McFarlane as a kid, he was so beyond nice to me. He wasn't nice within like, oh, he was nice. I was having a tough time as a kid, and he was my hero. And that is a thing that you can't ever, like, you experience that as a kid. You don't feel that stuff like that ever as an adult. You might, there's people I admire. I still admire the hell out of Kevin Costner and people like that. He's one of my heroes, to be sure. But you can't, there's a place that you're at when you're meeting your heroes. And sure, sometimes you're going to fall short of the glory or whatever. That happens. But Todd was unbelievably kind to me at a time when it meant a hell of a lot to me. And that guy's gold to me. That's it. Period. I won't have a bad word said about him. It is what it is. I remember hearing somebody say that and go, is there really somebody like that in my life? Like, obviously my wife and things like that. But I will not, like, I can't have a bad word said about Todd. It is what it is. It's like he's I know he's not a perfect person, but for me, it's like he's gold. He is gold. And yeah, that guy affected me and was very, very kind to me, man. But you can see it. You see the way I've been at conventions where I was like, oh crap, Todd's signing, and I didn't get in line in time, and it's closed because the line got too long, and I was standing there, just wanted to see him while he signed autographs, and Todd said, he came walking in, and he goes, who are all these people standing around here? And they go, oh, sorry, we had to close the line, Todd. There's too many people. It's like, open up the line. All these people want to get my signature. I'll stay longer. And I was like, are you kidding me, man? Yeah, except Waterworld and The Postman. Hey, listen, I have a sick love of The Postman. I love that movie. I do watch it, man. I do watch it. Let's see. Western candidates have two settings. Western Canadians have two settings: super nice or dickheads. I switch back and forth. It happens. Yeah, Waterworld had its moments, but for me, the Kevin Costner movies are, of course, Dances with Wolves. I love that movie. Loved all the performances in it were great. But Open Range is my jam. 30 people in here, guys. My God, like the stream, please share it out and subscribe if you haven't. I love Open Range. Blackjack says, I had the opportunity to meet George Tuska before he passed away. He is the reason I kept reading comics. Very nice. I thanked him. Sorry, my glasses just fell. I thanked him and told him how much his art meant to me. He stood up and shook my hand. I love those stories. Yeah, I like Waterworld and A Perfect World and Open Range. Sean sent Robert Duvall the link. Oh, I would. Bobby Duvall is the man, the absolute man. Dark Water was a fun cartoon as well. Oh yeah, it was a fun cartoon. Wow, I didn't even think about that. There's guys who was talking about this last night. Oh, I think Phil was talking about this. They were talking about all of these animation properties that are out there that someone should get the rights to and do, that aren't as like owned by Disney or whatever. And people should do adaptations of them and do things. And yeah, those are the things I think that there's a real opportunity for CG creators who are on the publishing end of things to do. There's a lot of stuff out there that could be so cool if done right. And well, that's true with everything, isn't it? But I do think that that's something that you're going to see us. I can't speak from experience, but I think it's a matter of time before that stuff starts to happen. The question is having the tools and the talent, as Winston Zedmore would say. That was my favorite Ghostbuster. When Stranger Things was all no one wants to be Winston, I was like, what the hell, man? He had the best lines in that, which is Ray. When someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Greatest line of all time, people. Sorry. Yeah, Open Range. Great flick. Good choice. I didn't realize I was stepping on a Costner-based lamp. No worries. And of course, Team Robin, thank you for being a member. I watched Costner and Robin Hood twice in the theater. Yeah, that was a fun flick. And gosh, God rest him. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. I can see it, and I can't. Alan Rickman, amazing in Robin Hood. I felt the same with meeting cool people like Chris Yamber, is that right? Who unfortunately had passed a few years ago, and Mike Barr, who created Damian Wayne. It's a real treat getting to meet local artists. I agree, it is great. Now, how can we forget Prince of Thieves? Well, one of the most beautiful actresses in the world is in that movie, so can't forget it. Tender Mercies was Robert Duvall's best film, in my opinion. Hey, listen, I love hearing about a good Robert Duvall film. Shaun of Thieves, that's right. Dances with Shams, that's right. Shumani Tutanka Owachi. Because most nerds aren't probably scientists, that's true. Oh, yes, Brian De Palma's classic, Untouchables. Okay, KSSS, you said that, so let me say this. That is a movie that at some point you have to remind me that we should do on Double Impact, because it is a incredible film, and it epitomizes, even though it's not a full-on action flick, the camaraderie of all the characters in that is one of the great ensembles and one of the best movies you could watch about being a guy and starting out and trying to find your place, and it's just a really great movie. And Sean Connery as a mentor is great. When I grow up, I want to be Sean Connery's character in Untouchables, where I'm just like, man, it's just it's great, man. It's great stuff. Really great movie. And Andy Garcia is a kid in that. He's so great as Stone in that. Terrific movie. Great, Oscar-winning, obviously, performance back when Oscars meant something by Sean Connery. And he was fantastic in that. Just great. What a performance. So was De Niro, of course. Let's see here. Robert Duvall's best performance, Lonesome Dove. Hey, I'll take that. Yeah. Was that one where they're all in tights and had Dave Chappelle in it? Yeah, different movie, but still a great film. Robin Hood Men in Tights with Carrie Elways is great. Someday Shanth will come out of daycare. Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, I want to be Connery in Zardoff when I grow up. Hey, listen, man, different strokes for different folks out there, guys. I'm not here to judge your journey, or to judge your dreams. You dream those dreams, people. You dream those dreams. If this space, and I love when Eric July calls it that because it's just great. In this space, I'm like, yeah, it is a space, isn't it? But yeah, in this space, we're doing great stuff, and dreams are a big part of it. It's where those dreams kind of become reality. And when you guys are in these streams, you're watching them become reality. It's kind of a weird thing, because you hear artists talk about, and I do, by the way, I do use reference sometimes. So let me be really clear about that. I do, but not all the time. When you guys watch me paint like this for, an hour and 30 minutes straight, I'm not looking at anything other than the chat. You guys are seeing where this stuff gets made and how the stuff gets made. And that is a very powerful thing to share with the people who are supporting your stuff and backing your stuff and saying, hey man, be with me when I'm doing this most, this very, typically isolated and personal, thing where you're just, you got to really kind of be in the zone. And as I've working to become more, be better at being, oh my God. Yeah. Tin Shanth Cup. That's right. Do the Connery impression now. Oh God, what is that one? Oh yeah. Oh gosh, what are his quotes in that movie? Shoot, there's so many. All right. Enough of this running shit. There's my Sean Connery. Water, Shanth World. Granbury Langers, Robin Hood Men in Tights. Shanth the Tar. Yeah. I figure you have a good understanding of that. But yeah, it's in there somewhere. Yeah, it's a lot of studying, Working completely from memory is such a daunting task. Yeah, it definitely is, especially while talking and streaming. Amen. Back Nosfero, thank you, KSSS. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Sean, I think reference is hugely important, though. Thank you, Improbi. Good to see you, Improbi. I just saw you here. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I've said hi to you yet. Need reference to function. Guys, yeah, listen to me and everybody. Reference is really important. The way that the arts were destroyed, in my opinion, in terms of the progress in the arts, was the myth that of not using reference. All of the great work was done. People were using reference. And they either, used reference until they knew it, or they used reference to augment their stuff. But it's that is how they win, saying, oh, using reference is cheating. Yes, a lot of us can draw out of our heads. It's true. But we do get reference when we need it, and it is not at all a weakness to use reference. Because how else are you going to learn? There is no information on the page. And there's two aspects to what we do, right? You draw from life on the one hand. At some point, you're drawing from life, right? But then when you are looking at the blank page, you're picturing the things you recall on the page. So you're drawing from your life experiences. And I will be the first to tell you that let me talk about that drawing from life thing real quick. You have to learn on some, not even on some level, on the most basic level, you have to learn from drawing from other art and working from other art. Anyone who tells you otherwise is not giving you an understanding of the history of art, which is to say there are certain things that have become a part of the linguistic. It's like trying to learn how to write fiction without ever reading fiction. It's absurd. You have to have people that you admire. My hero that I tried to draw like when I was a kid was Todd McFarlane. Then it was Dave Stevens and Jeff Darrow, and just the list goes on and on, as Razorfist would say, ad astra. But one of the things that I have to tell you is that if you want to bring that richness to your stuff, you've got to look at things and learn how to draw things that not everybody's drawn before. So both are true. Yes, I do remember. I still have the box of all the Polaroids that I took in college for reference. That was cool. Sucked, man. Yeah. Well, now with a phone, you can take a photograph of your hand and get like the skin texture on it, for God's sake. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah. Polaroids back in the day. I remember shooting photo reference with a camera, waiting for an hour development, and then getting it back and realizing you didn't get any photos you could use. That was painful. Even the PFP was made bottom up from studying EVS's Cyberfrog almost religiously. There you go. Wow. Yeah. That is, did you mean PVP or PFP? I'm not sure which thing you're saying, but yes. I remember having to develop film. I do too. Greg Smallwood had a great thread on how he uses reference for human target. Really great. Yeah, there's some great knowledge out there, guys. The great David Mamet wrote 1987's The Untouchables. Yes, indeed. And a great writer. Oh, yeah, I've been collecting reference images since the dawn of the internet. Amen. Awesome one. Yep, we're old. Yep. Bill Willingham said the Elementals is public domain because Andrew Rev violated terms of the sale. Andy Smith is a huge fan of Elementals. I've been harassing him to do something with it. Nice. Oh, profile picture. Gotcha. Profile picture. God, I'm slow today. Yeah, now you can just pull out your phone to grab reference or text your photos. Yeah, and hey, what's up, Moss? Good to see you listening at work. There you go. Great to see you right in the chat here. This is the thing. When you are working, I can't overstate this stuff. When you're working out how to do this work and figuring out like, okay, well, what's my stuff going to be? And how am I going to put this stuff together? There's nothing you should avoid using if it's to the end of becoming a better artist, like learning the stuff. And Saul Bass gave a famous interview and he's like the great graphic designer who did the Psycho titles. He designed the AT&T logo, all of that stuff, where they said, what would you say for designers and design students? What should they do while they're in school? And he said, learn to draw. He said, learn to draw. He goes, because if you don't learn to draw, it is going to be the biggest impediment, and you will spend the rest of your life having to fake that or hide the fact and twist yourself, as to solve problems because you don't know how to face them forthrightly because you never learned to draw. And he goes, and once you get your career going, you will never take the time to go back and learn to draw because it's too late. Because you know what your income is, and you don't have time to stop and really get good. And it is what he said was a crippling absence. And I love that definition of not knowing how to draw is a crippling absence. If you have to trace photos or copy photos to draw, like purely, and that's all the limit of your ability, which is not how Alex Ross works. It's not how any of these great artists work. It is a crippling absence, guys. It is rough. Oh, what is up? It's great to see you here in the chat. You told me how to pronounce your name. Is it Eloise? Is that how I pronounce it? Or am I pronouncing it wrong? Let me know. Paulo Rivera is also a great reference guy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've met him a few times, actually, because he was teaching or he'd come for visits every now and again up at the school I taught at. And I sent him a message not long ago. He has a great relationship with his father, and I really admire the hell out of that. Good dude. AT&T, reach out and touch someone. Except for you, Kevin Spacey. Agreed. I take all my reference photos. I have a swipe file I can use. I use action figures. That's great. I find 3D models, anything that gets, thank you. I'm glad I pronounced it well. Find 3D models, anything that gets it to look right. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much. I'm glad I did. Like, yeah, I've got this. These are really useful. I've got these gray figures that manga artists use every now and again. If I've got figures interacting, it's nice to have one there because you can arrange it. And do stuff with it. And sometimes I like having it there as a failsafe. And then for my werewolves, I have the NECA American Werewolf in London figure on my desk, or at least I have both of the different head variations of it. And I have a Howling maquette that PCS Collectibles did, because sometimes I need a 3/4 view of the head of a werewolf. And let's be honest, I know you all have this problem, and it's nice to have that kicking around. Absolutely important. There we go. There we go. You guys are watching a werewolf get painted here. So please do make sure you like and subscribe. And I hope you're enjoying the stream. I never know how these things are going to go. It's like jumping out of an airplane when I start a stream. I go, oh, I wonder if this is going to go terrible or not. It just work. And then I just say, just do it. I see Shia LaBeouf in my head. Do it. Oh, man. Or I hear Mike Tyson's quote in my head, you got to bring it to get it. That's what it is. But yeah, there's nobody with a long career in the arts who can sustain that, who doesn't really know what they're doing, because you can try, but on some level you have got to know what you're doing. You can't, it's too much work otherwise. You couldn't, I mean, faking this, if you can't just, make it happen, and you're going to be miserable doing this kind of business. You're just going to be miserable, and I think CG is one of the cool things about CG for me anyway, is you really are surrounded by people who are good at not just drawing and painting and storytelling and all the things that we have to do, but good at broadcasting and trying to manage about a million things at the same time. And like I said, we need every backer. We need all the support we can get, because this stuff is hard. And just being here in the streams and hanging with us, always appreciated, guys. You know that. Michael Jackson Thriller. Oh, listen, I absolutely love that. The Werecat from Michael Jackson's Thriller is amazing. Someone was talking to me about that. We were talking about werecats at some point. I said, in Thriller, it's a werecat, not a werewolf. All right, take care of Cranberry Langers. Have a great one. Paulo Rivera, nice. Yeah, absolutely. But yes, you have to learn how to draw. Practice, practice, practice. Learn to draw and keep learning to draw. Absolutely right. Be safe, Cranberry Langers. Just watched An American Werewolf in London the other night. I'd buy a Jenny action figure from, excuse me, from NECA, just saying amen. Yep. Hello, nurse. It's not about how awful the stream is going to be. It's about how long will it go on for. Yeah, that's very true. Only Diet Coke drinking loons who have unhealthy inferiority complexes on chasing him for cover work. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing specific there. Just a random comment there. Just a random comment, not meaning anybody specific. Nobody who messes with my brother Gabe. That's right, man. Don't be doing that. Do not be doing that. Gabe's my boy. Just the way it is. Here we go. There we are. All right. Coming together here. So this is border right here that I'm working on. Every now and again, the way I do my borders is there's got to be a certain amount of conservative panels, or people won't get it. Like, you can't have everything be a floaty sort of organic panel border, because that, and also it just becomes too much of a convention. Like, it has to fit with the piece. You can't force that, into everything, because it's you have to know it. Like, I wouldn't want anybody to look to me and say, oh, hey, that's how I'm going to do my panel borders, because it really came from, and it's really come from a history of learning how to do the standard 6-panel grid and all of the stuff I learned from my comic art mentor. So it came from that. But for me, there's this rule where you kind of start to know, like, all right, I am officially got to rein this area in to this point, so that the panel border doesn't become the subject matter of this piece. And that's really, I think that's really what it's about. You don't want your panel border to be what the piece is about. You want the story and the art and the character, to be what it's about. And I think that otherwise it just becomes like a trope, a trope to the work. Let me see here. See you, Cranberry Langers. Yes, indeed. Take care. He also messed with Dan Frega, Finatra. No one messes with Finn. Yeah, guys. I mean, seriously, I think that it's been well covered, but it's like people got to get themselves sorted out, and like, when people are going down that road, I just kind of sad, man. It's like, come on, man, gotta just chill out, take a vacation. I think a lot of people who live in the world of the social credit score reality that a lot of those folks live in, they're just missing out on their lives. They don't know who the hell they are, and it shows in the way that they are willing to mess with people they shouldn't be messing with. I mean, you look at all of those situations. The one that boggles my mind is who in their right mind would want to like step or even remotely say anything, antagonistic in Eric July's direction, that's a pretty dumb idea, because Eric is a self-made man, and he works, he squeezes an hour out of every minute in his day, and he works his ass off. And you just don't like, it's such a senseless thing, and you're going to get slapped, man. Like that's just it, man. You're going to get smacked down big time if you do that. And he did it. F around and find out, as they say. But I'm really happy for Eric and Gabe working on that project as well, and Eric Weathers working on that project. Letterer extraordinaire, who's going to be lettering Nosfero, another one of my artist brothers. Love Eric Weathers, man. Looking forward to Battle Brick Road 2 and that whole campaign, and just a good dude. Another guy who's OG Comicsgate, been here for forever, working his tail off, and took a massive, leap of faith into this world, and I'm grateful for him so much, man. Let's see here. To that, Jay. Indeed, yes. Very true. Very true. Yeah, it's like if Finn and I were in prison, I'd protect him in the showers. There you go. Oh man. I was watching Osamu Tezuka documentary called Osamu Tezuka, God of Manga, and in that documentary, in that video, they just show him stretching and all of the things comic book artists know and illustrators know of just being at the desk. That guy was insane. He could draw like 15 pages in a day. It was nuts. And he was just ridiculously fast. And I saw a meme of him with his little beret on, and it said, in the time it took you to read this, Osamu Tezuka just drew 15 pages of manga, and I bust out laughing. It's such a great such a great meme, man. Good stuff. There we go. Yeah, and you can sort of start to see how the sculptural nature of this figure is coming together right here, and that's a big part of it to me. Is it's got a lock, and you got to have that, like these kinds of interactions between characters, they've got to transcend paint. You know what I mean? Like you've got to see that, like it's like, oh, like this character and this other character are having this. There's something important being conveyed here. This is a tough situation, and that's the thing that ultimately is going to make the book work, and it's going to make it a good read for people. It's going to make it a strong project. And I love these characters. Yeah, Battle Brick Road 2, sign up, guys. Make sure you do it. Are you guys taking a break from CG Team? Yeah, I think we are right now, because Eric's got a lot of work going on right now. He's doing on because I don't know if he's been streaming a lot lately, but I know he's getting doing a ton of work on Battle Brick Road 2 right now. And yeah, just a terrific guy. Yeah, but we're not doing CG Team right now. And it's I know he's gonna be doing some art streams, and I'll have him on this channel at some point too. But yeah, great dude. How can anyone hate what July has done other than, you said it, other than petty jealousy? What July and Gabe have done was trailblaze a new, unheard of positive conversation of the presentation and ethics of comic production. You're absolutely right, Timmy Mello. Big, respect for that. That is spot on. Yeah, can I just say, I love the way the bottom of the previous leads directly to the panel you're working on. Oh, thank you so much, Art and Times with Jay Ryan. Great stuff, Sean. I appreciate that. I don't see boobs in this. I'll get you. Don't worry, I'll get you some boobs. It'll happen. Tangentially related to Tezuka, have you ever seen any of Naoki Urasawa's work? I may have butchered that here, but I know I haven't. And if I have, I'll know it when I see it again. But I'll Google that. I'll check that out. Excellent. Yeah, let's see here. Subscribe to the Art and Times of Jay Ryan, Ryan's new channel. Be in the early subs to say, I remember when Jay was just one of us. Exactly right. One not ein. Gotcha. Let me go back up and read that. So it's one not ein. Where is that? B subs say, I remember when he was one of us. Where did I read that wrong? I'm looking for it. I can't find it. I'm sorry, man. Let me see here. Gotcha. Oh, B1. I got you. I see it. I see what you were saying. I probably just read it through, knowing me and my reading comp. But yeah, I mean, it's great stuff, man. It's great to be able to do the stuff we're doing and to be able to explore. Like, you know, when you made that comment about, oh, I love how that panel's working. Let me first of all say this. I love it too. That's what I love about comics. And I've got all of this, you know, great art from the past in my mind all the time, and how fun it is, and a million Muka pieces. So I'm glad you like it. And it would not be possible for me to do that kind of work in the mainstream, because you guys are getting the most creative I can possibly be every single page of this book. And there's a lot of boards that I've cut that I'm going to be working on, you know, blank boards that are going to turn into pages. And the thing about it is that I know what the pages look like. I've got the layouts and everything like that. But as you guys can tell, there's stuff that happens that is not, that I don't know until I'm working on it. You know, that stuff that happens that just takes it to another level. So right here, this is the layout for this page right here. This is what one of my layouts looks like. And you can see, okay, this is about what I'm doing with this page. That's pretty much about what I'm doing with it. However, when you see how this page comes together and you see how the work actually manifests itself, it's a whole nother kettle of fish. It goes into a deeper place. And that is what I'm after with this stuff, you know? Urasawa did a retelling of Astro Boy's story called Pluto. Oh, I want to check that out. Yeah, the manga I'm buying right now is the H.P. Lovecraft adaptations. Those are sick. Yep, love Urasawa, Billy Bat, Pluto, Monster, and other greats. Wow, yeah, it looks like I've got some stuff. Oh my god, you just cracked me up. Oh my god, Bassmaster Dan, you're killing me. I'll try to remember the vertically challenged when I reach to the top of the mountain. That's right. Praying for Camel Moon. Absolutely, we are. We hope he can walk one day. One day I'm going to look at Jay Ryan's channel and say, there goes my hero. Watch him as he goes. Indeed. Speaking of things that were really inspiring, I do have to say, watching Taylor Hawkins' 16-year-old son play drums on that song at a tribute concert recently, I don't think it gets any better than that from me. Seeing a kid just honoring his dad that way. What a lad. Good stuff, man. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Love Pluto and a big fan of Astro Boy. Excellent. Yeah. You love Pluto, Sean. It's a big detective story at its core. Very nice. I love Astro Boy. Yep. I have some of the mangas over there. I hope anyway. Anthony Gonzalez Clark. Heck yeah. Hi, Graham Nolan. Yes, indeed. Hi to Graham Nolan. Indeed. Is Graham Nolan in the chat? I don't think he is he? But yes, we always say hi to Graham Nolan. Graham Nolan is the man. That was one of my favorite intros I've done and that was a frame by framer. The eagle landing on Graham Nolan's shoulder. That was some stuff there. That was some stuff. And it was fun. What a blast to do. And you know, you never know how people are going to respond to those things when you do them, because they take a ton of time and I have to know what it's going to be and find something. And it was great to see Graham's reaction to it. I was like, hell yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And yeah, he's a good dude. I've talked to him about, I know I told him when my wife and I were having our, I think, 21st anniversary. So maybe a year or so ago. And, you know, he's always just nice about it because he's been married a long time. And he's the bar for making sure comic book artists keep in shape. Gets it done. You know, that's a big part of it. Let's see here. Yeah, Graham Nolan is my spirit animal. Indeed. Hi, Graham Nolan. Hi, Graham Nolan. Everybody's saying hello to Graham Nolan. We love Graham Nolan. That's the way that works. Yeah, everybody's just saying hi. Gotta say hi. Yeah. Loved Astro Boy and Astro Boy adaptation. It's of the classic film Metropolis. Yes. Metropolis is great. That film is nuts. It's so high quality. Everybody's saying hello. Shane Davis, aka Eeyore, is my spirit animal. Shane, man, Shane's an inspiration, man. He's drawn stuff I love, fighting and kaiju. My spirit animal is Kelsey, you lurking. There you go. Neon Todd Studios, read Pluto in high school. The first time I had to physically put a book because I couldn't take what was going on. Put a book down. I gotcha. Euro Sago, love that guy. Neon Todd Studio, no spoilers. That book is great. Yeah. I will say this too, you know, it's like one of Camel Moon's big heroes is Graham Nolan. And I was telling Camel, I was going, you know, dude, you should reach out to Graham and see if he'd be up for doing a cover for you. You know, being that's like for a hardcore Batman fan, like Will Valley is, also known as Camel Moon, you know, and a big Graham Nolan fan. He knows all of those books. I was like, have you talked to Graham about doing something and commissioning to do something? Because he freaking loves that stuff, man. And yeah, Graham's. I was trying to explain, like, when you try to explain who some of these people are, right? So, like, my mother-in-law sent me a text the other day, and she was like, oh, here's an article about some artist who's being shadow banned on Indiegogo. And I was like, yeah, it's Mike Barron. He's a terrific guy. One of the formative comics in my life reading comics was Punisher 17 that he wrote. Great book. And I just remember looking at that book and being inspired and by it and wanting to be a storyteller on that level. And it's just, for so many people, you know, you meet these creators who are all, you know, passionate about this craft we're all doing. And it's nice because it is a journey. And I love that Graham likes horror. You know, that's another big thing. Always a big fan of that. Let's see here. If we're saying Inglorious Pizza is my spirit animal. Amen. So is mine. Inglorious Rex 2 by Shane Davis. I know I've backed it. I backed the Shane Davis cover. I'm a big fan of that where he's seated in the buildings. Yellow is so sulfurous. Yes, absolutely. Let me move this back. Ghosts of Matacumbe. I can't ever pronounce it. Matacumbe Key by Graham Nolan, depending on how you roll and how you pronounce it. You ever look at Camel's IMDb, Sean? No, I haven't, but I know I know he's done a lot. He's talked about it. He worked with Kevin Smith. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Will has led an interesting life. Amen. Private American by Mike Barron looks really good. Yeah, I always love seeing the beret like that on a character's head. It just looks great, man. Like when I saw the photo of him from the military, it was just great. Private American by Mike Barron looks really good. Anthony Gonzalez Clark. Ashamed to say I haven't finished Monster yet, but so far I think I might end up liking it better than Pluto. There you have it. Back in 2018, I told Kelsey Shannon he was my spirit animal because he reminds me of Chewbacca. Well, there you have it, guys. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing about it, right? Because someone was asking me about heroes, comic book artist heroes that I have. And I have to say, Todd McFarlane is a hero just in terms of, you know, his work, you know, when I was a kid and all that stuff. But, you know, the toughest thing about, you know, being a comic book artist and getting to a certain point in an artist in general in your age is so many of my heroes have passed. And I don't get, you know, like James Bama was a massive hero of mine. Love his work. Dave Stevens, one of the biggest heroes ever. Frank Frazetta, Bernie Wrightson. And, you know, you get to meet their kids and grandkids sometimes, or you get to know them a little bit or talk to them. And it's great, but it's a tough part of it. You know, you start, you know, blazing your own trail, man. It's the way it is. Well read, did a great interview of Camel and his past. Yeah, Camel, he's talked about it a lot in terms of his work in show business and comics and his passion for this stuff. You ever look at, I'm not reading that. No idea. Oh, really? I had no idea. Yeah, the birthday suit starring KSS. Yeah. You guys are killing me. Yeah, his people tried hard to cancel him. Wait, who are we talking about? Which person are we talking about? Camel Moon's people? Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it, but geez, man. Yeah, I can imagine working with some of those cats that if it's Kevin Smith in them, I can imagine they're not too thrilled with any kind of anti-woke stuff. But yeah, I told Camel, man, when he showed me the timeline that he has for you know, for Boots and Heels, I was like, man, you gotta get that out there, man. I don't know if you guys saw the short video I made where he shows it to me, and I think he might have shown it for the first time on that stream. Freaking brilliant, man. Yeah, I want to see that campaign do well. He's a good dude, and he works hard. I only, like a lot of people, I only know their work in Comicsgate, and the thing about that is because I mean, which I should say, like, if you're a comic book artist and you have a huge, you know, resume, and I was collecting during that time, then I'm gonna know, you know, what you did. There's no getting around that. But the thing about it is that Comicsgate is weird, as we've often talked about, where how you do in Comicsgate has to do with your property and how you develop things. So when you see professionals who've had big careers come into Comicsgate and kill it, it's a special thing. It's never a guarantee. And we've got some just heavy hitters coming in here and just doing some of the craziest and best work ever. So yeah, it's great. I actually have, gosh, you guys were just talking about Graham Nolan. I have, where is it? I think it's here with my work, isn't it? Hold on a second. All right, where's it? Oh, it's right here. It's right next to me. I've got my Dan Lawless cover of Two-Fisted Manly Tail sitting right here. So there you go. There you go, kids. That's what it is. Smith, who's working. Yes, indeed. Working. Boots and heels. Yes, people try to cancel him. Oh, Smith. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Boots and Heels, guys, go check it out. Back. And if you haven't seen my stream talk about that timeline and you want to get a bigger grasp of how crazy that book is, it's amazing. Feels like the 40s. Yeah, there you go. I'm proud to say Shanth owns a Johnny Phantasm figure. Yes, I do, with my art on the box. I do, and that is great art, man. Yeah, very manly. Two-fisted manly tails. Yeah, I mean, that is great artwork, and I love seeing that on the box. We were talking about action figures the other day on somebody's stream. Oh, no, it was Camel. It was on my stream. Camel and I were talking about action figures. And Will was like, I got to start reminding myself to call him Will because it's hard for me to, like, you have these conversations with your wife and you're like going, so yeah, it's it's weird. But I was talking with him about action figures and how he envisioned it. And we were just talking about how, and I think PTP has a really good grasp on this, is that there's different action figures that it's types of action figures that you like for different reasons. And the 3 3/4 scale figures have this kind of quality to them. Do I want to see a 3 3/4 scale Cyberfrog? Not really, because the character is so detailed. I wanted to back the new action figure campaign because that's what Cyberfrog should be. But not every figure has to be that, and not every property. Some properties, I think, benefit from having something that takes you back to what action figures were and what's now popular again. So yeah, I love those Johnny Phantasm figures. I have 2 of them, and so I guess I have 2 with your art on them. What's up, Duart? Great to see you, my friend. I have a hard time calling Camel Will too. Yeah, he's stuck with Camel on friend. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's what he chooses to go by. The only issue for me is that I always try to learn the name that people sign on their artwork. And that's the thing for me is if somebody signs their artwork, one name, it's like that's what gets stuck in my head. So when I talk about them as an artist, like Tug, that umbrella guy, I mean, that's what his work is. And Cecil, same thing. But there's this there's this aspect when you start to appreciate somebody as an artist and you get to know them and get to know like what their passions are and things like that I really sort of felt like as when I knew before I really was looking at Boots and Heels and all of that kind of stuff, it was easier to do. But Boots and Heels is really him kind of doing something that's, I think, really a personal project, and something he's really, I mean, not that anything he does isn't personal, but that one is a special project for him. And when you see that timeline and all the thought he put into it, it's just I don't know why that just is when I look at his signature on it, I'm like going, yep, that's who made this. That's Will. But I mean, if you like, I told him a ton of times, like, if he wants me to call him Camel, I'll call him Camel. It's fine. That's the weirdest sentence I think I've ever said in my life. That's got to be up there. It's got to be in the mix, man. It's got to be in the mix. Last figure I bought was My Hero Academia. That is an absolute corker of a manga and anime. Yes, indeed. Amanda B still calls me Bullet Ninja Hagelman. Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. It's tough. Well, here's another one, man. And Cecil, and if Cecil ever reveals his name, he'll always probably be Cecil. I agree with that. Cecil's real name is probably like Jason or Matt. Yeah, I know, it's true. Carl. Yeah, here's the thing. So when I did that clip that you can find, it's one of the clips I've done on this channel, where where I read that guy's How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky. One of the things that was interesting about that's been a sort of a sticking point for me is it says one of the big things he says is take risks under your own name. People will reward you. You're taking accountability. People will reward you for your successes, and you'll be and they'll know whose name to attribute it to. And I think that I do think that is a good bit of advice. If you're Bono and that's been your gang name since you were a kid and people call you Bono, that's awesome. If you're Prince and you've been Prince your whole career and no one calls you anything else ever, that's you know, that's a way to go. But I don't know if everybody, I think sometimes that rule is pretty good. It's a pretty sound rule. Books, or the books guy. Books make you rich. Buy my books guy. Yeah, exactly. That's right. All right, guys, we are at 2 hours and 4 minutes. I've been streaming for a bit here. I'm going to go get some food, get something to eat, and we'll continue doing more of these streams, guys. I'm going to be after it like crazy. Everybody have a wonderful Friday. Hopefully I will see you again this weekend for several streams. You mean I'm stuck with KSSS? I know, all because of a stuck S key. That's right. That's right. But yeah, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for backing Nosfero, the Crypt Walker. Please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate everything you guys are doing here. And I'll be streaming more. We'll have more positivity. And yeah, guys, go back Boots and Heels. Go back all of the campaigns that I've got, you know, in the comment section. And much love to all of you guys. I will see you soon. For my members here in the stream, thank you for becoming members and becoming Crypt Walkers, as we say. And the credits are going to now have, every time I end a show, is going to have you guys, your names are going to come up. So anybody who becomes a member of this channel, make sure, I will be checking, but when you do, I'm going to update those credits so that your name shows up, because you guys are doing great things for me here. So I appreciate it. Yeah, do back Nosfero, the Crypt Walker. All right, everybody. I will see you guys soon. Take care. Yeah, stay gold. Peace. Absolutamente.
Hard work, dedication, hard work, dedication.